Hey guys, so on this beautiful sunny afternoon, I'm going to be doing my math deconstruction on Taking the Numb Out of Numbers by Don Fraser. You can see right there. And he is a professor, there he is right there, at the University of Toronto. He actually works at OISE. And he offers practical and innovative approaches to teaching all levels of math, ranging from the elementary all the way up to the senior levels of math. He's acclaimed as North America's leading math professors, and basically his approach is to engage students in everyday problems that would relate to them. They are problems ranging from going back to school, going to the grocery store, or thinking about the best way to optimize buying supplies on sale. So his approaches are real life problems that the students would encounter in their life and helps them to make practical and educated decisions based on these real life events. So I really like how the book gives open-ended questions for the students to solve. This way, they're covering most of the strands of math all in one question. Let's start with our first example. Barry Waldner, a 22-year-old college student, has broken the world record for eating hot dogs. After 21 hot dogs in 4 minutes and 15 seconds and breaking the old record by 32 seconds, he said, "Us off-campus people don't get much to eat." So the first follow-up question was, about how many minutes did Barry take to eat 21 hot dogs? At this speed, how many hot dogs could Barry eat in 1 hour? If you use Barry's actual time of 4 minutes and 15 seconds to eat 21 hot dogs, would Barry eat more or fewer hot dogs than the answer to the question? Explain. One of the other follow-up questions was, talk about it. Do you think Barry could actually eat that many hot dogs in 1 hour? So what I really like about this math question is that it relates to many strands of math all in one question. So for number sense and enumeration, the student would have to think what operation they would have to do to figure out how many hot dogs Barry would eat in 21 minutes. So they would have to use knowing that he ate 21 hot dogs in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. How much could he eat in 21 minutes? And then they would have to compare that to an hour. So they have to think, what operation would I go about to use to solve this problem? For measurement, they would be measuring how much food they are able to eat in each period of time. Patterning in algebra, they could compare it to a real life eating competition, maybe where they show someone in competition where they're eating really, really fast and then they slow down at the end, and we can notice patterns. Maybe, why are we slowing down at the end? Is it realistic to actually eat that many hot dogs in that short amount of time? Data management. Also, for students who might not know a number sense, enumeration, real life application, if they're not confused about which operation to use, they could actually track and make it into a chart and see how much they eat in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and then they could use it as a chart to track the time and how many hot dogs they eat. So you can just see in this one question, they're able to use so many of the different strands, and that's what I like so much about this book. They actually incorporate all of these strands while using one open-ended type of question. Our second example applies common sense and real-life applications. Did you know that Alex Rodriguez made $25,680,732 while playing for the New York Yankees in 2006? He played in 154 regular season games, which means on average he earned blank for each game. Assuming each game was 9 innings, he made blank per inning. In 2006, Rodriguez had 166 hits. His pay was blank for each hit. Having this open-ended problem allows students to apply their knowledge and solve problems in a variety of different ways. I think this is a great way for students to apply their knowledge about numbers and money to well-known professionals, like baseball players. So it helps conceptualize how much money he would make per game, per inning, and per hit. This is such a fun and engaging way for students to make connections to money and how many games, innings, and hits it would take for him to earn that $26 million. This relates to number sense and enumeration, choosing the right operation to solve the problem per game, per inning, per hit. For measurement, it's how many games did it take, how many innings and how many hits did it take for him to make his earnings. Maybe we can compare the difference in the numbers between games, innings, and hits. For data management, they could collect and organize the data using a variety of charts and graphs. They could evaluate convincing arguments and conclusions based on the data that they collect. They could use the data to support how perhaps the athlete makes too much money per game. Or looking at the amount of hits the player had, they could conclude that the player just makes too much per hit. Ready for our final example from the book?
La, 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 la. Hey Aaron, what are you watching?
I'm watching American Idol Season 1.
Oh, American Idol. Wow, okay. Aren't you supposed to be doing your math deconstruction?
Oh, I need a break from all that math talk, you know?
Oh, I suppose you're right. Hey, pause that for a second.
Okay.
It's reminding me about something.
What's that?
What are you doing your math deconstruction on again?
It's on that book, Numb with Numbers by John Fraser.
I know that book. Is it this one here?
Yeah, how did you know? Have you been reading it, leafing through it?
I have. I had a flick through it, and that's what reminded me of this American Idol. He posed a question, and it was a really interesting one that engaged students. I wonder what we could do with American Idol in the classroom.
I wonder what we could do. Maybe students could create their own questions that they could ask to each other.
You're
Wouldn't
right.
that be a really fun and creative way to get them talking about math and an awesome show like American Idol?
You're right. If I can remember from the book, he actually took, that was right. He took the top 12 contestants, where they were from, and where were they from in the States, and their age. I wonder what math strands we can hit upon in the classroom.
You know what? Geometry. You could plot where each of the 12 contestants are from, and you could have the students visualize different shapes that the different coordinates make on the map.
You're right. We could use yarn to actually show that we could actually use measurement to see the distance between the contestants, and then use geometry to look at the shapes it creates. Wow, that's 2 strands already.
You know what? I know another one. We could focus on probability. We could have them think about maybe the probability of a woman or man winning the show. Or maybe what's the average age that the contestants are when they win.
You're right. That brings in number sense and numeration. How about that's what I read in the book. Percentages. What could be the percentage of male winners against female winners? And you can compare previous years and use data management to get median and mode. There's so much you can do.
So many different ways that you could graph the data of the 12 contestants. Really, there's so many different ways that students can show their knowledge about the contestants and the general makeup of the people who are on the show.
You're right.
Now that we've covered all the math trends, why don't you just go away so I can continue watching my American Idol?
Oh, fine.
The best part about this resource is that as teachers, we can facilitate social justice issues through these open-ended problems that are provided in the book. So although there isn't really any question about social justice issues, we can use the questions that are already provided in the book and modify them so that we can relate social justice issues that are current and relevant to our students and modify the questions that are already in the book to meet their needs. So although there isn't really an assessment tool for the activities or any worksheets, this allows the teacher to come up and co-construct the assessment tool with the students so that it's relevant and so that the students can connect to the questions. If you're looking for a math resource that promotes inquiry-based learning and relates to the interests of your students, pick yourself up a copy of Taking the Numb Out of Numbers.